Peace to everybody. It's Heru. This is my third take, honestly, because I keep trying to sugarcoat the information, but that's not me. You know what I mean? I'm trying to be YouTube, but that's not. This is my fucking channel. You know what I mean? So I'm just gonna do me. So, anyways, first thing I want to say is shout out everyone who viewed my last video, who commented, who liked it, who clicked on it and clicked off, who watched the whole thing, who anything. Thank you so much. Thank you for clicking on this one. It's crazy. Second video, you know what I mean? But it's just, I love y'all. That's all I gotta say. Let's get directly into the video. Okay. So this is going to be about how do you, right? And again, this is one thing that held, well, honestly, it's not going to hold anyone back. Everyone experiences it, okay? But the question of the day is, how do you master your spiritual ascension? Okay? Now, like I said, I was going to sugarcoat it and put a little spazza in it, but no. This information, it has to be told directly. You know what I mean? Because there's no true form of being like, hey God, this is some information that can change your life. You know? And the first thing, and we do have a lot to talk about. The first thing that you have to realize is that the two ways of programming one's mind, right? There's three main ways, but we're talking about two. It's through trauma and repetition. The third way is through like certain acts of love or like compassion, even fake love or compassion, you know what I mean? Certain things like that. But the main two, the trauma, right? And then the repetition, right? So when you're trying to master this thing called spirituality, whenever you'll come to find out that you shouldn't even be calling it spirituality. All the people who really call it spirituality and woke and shit, they don't know what the fuck they're talking about, okay? They may think about pineal gland, melanin, kundalini, chakras. Oh shit, wait, Black Lives Matter. Woke, bro. You see what I mean? And all of these are, can't believe I'm saying this on camera, but all of these are byproducts of this operation that happened long ago. Not too long ago. And actually it's going on right now, you know, obviously, but MK Ultra, okay? And keep in mind the way the CIA works, and it's kind of necessary, you know what I mean? Because you can't have everyone just going crazy. You're going to have an apparatus so where the government can sit there and control where the frequency of where the masses sit. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? You know what I mean? So don't think like this is some like evil shit. Like it sounds dark and stuff, and yes, it can be manipulated. But think about it. If you were to have some type of populace, 1 billion plus people around the world, because we already know all the governments are owned by one fucking person. Politics are cool and shit, but you know, everything's run by this false thing called money. You know what I mean? Control. You know what I mean? So that being said, you have to realize that all these things are set up to keep you away from these instruments we call spirituality and pineal gland, kundalini, chakras, all that. You know what I mean? So, but the beautiful thing about it is that this can be hacked and it can be broken, and I'll tell you why. I did this 10 years ago, and I didn't realize I did it, you know? But like I was saying earlier, trauma and repetition. Trauma and repetition, trauma and repetition, trauma and repetition, trauma and repetition. Once you have some type of trauma, as in, oh shit, my lights went off, or my grandma died, or something, it forms some type of bond to your human body, or what they call the psyche, or the self, or the ego. And when I talk about ego, I'm not talking about, hey man, look at me, I'm blah blah blah. I'm talking about talking about thyself, like the ego of Heru, me, my shit. You see my aura? Look at me. Let your soul glow, baby. Let your soul glow. But yeah, once you let ego settle into that place where it's rarely, how can I say this? It's fucked up. You know, once that ego, yourself, that being is set in a place where everything's fucked up, you're not gonna sit there and be like, oh well, everything's okay. You're gonna be like, holy shit, that's crazy. Let me see what I can do here to make sure that doesn't happen more, right? You're gonna make sure you do everything in your heart to make sure nothing happens here. Okay, so that's trauma. Repetition is so keep in mind, we already have trauma. That's the right hook, you know what I mean? So the left hook, the left uppercut, you know, is motherfucking that repetition. That's Migos on motherfucking radio. Watch YouTube copyright strike that shit. You know what I mean? Just stupid stuff. You know, and once you have this repetition of like, I'm gonna go kill a nigga and I'm gonna go fuck this bitch and rape his, I don't even want to go off on that frequency, but you know where I'm going with that. Once you're hearing that, even if it's down the street, in your Uber, on a commercial, anywhere, because you can't escape it. Even if you listen to EDM, country folk music, anything. Look, I listen to everything, baby. You know what I mean? That humming who shit died, you know. But once you're on the frequency of that rhythmic vibration, you know what I mean, of that repetitiveness, of that you know, that trauma and repetition, you start to be like, oh fuck. And what's going on is, I'm not really trying to tie this directly into the music industry, but anyone who knows me knows motherfucking like me from music. You know what I mean? Like, I've met Young Thug, Jay-Z, motherfucking whole bunch of people that I don't want to evoke the energy in this room. You know what I mean? My chief flow chakra point. So one thing I do know is that it's filled with witches and warlocks, you know what I mean? Okay, I had to check to see if the video was still going. This industry, the music industry, is filled with witches and warlocks, but the main ones aren't the people at top, you know what I mean? Or what you think is at top. The main ones aren't the people that are at the forefront, you know what I mean? And that's the whole reason why you keep seeing them. Repetitive, you know what I mean? Then they talk about past traumas. Every single rapper talks about past trauma. Everyone. You know what I mean? Even whenever, like, I was making music, well, I still do make music, honestly. Check me out. Fucking myself. But, yeah, whenever I would write lyrics and shit, I'd be talking about past traumas, you know what I mean? And it's just, psychologically, it says a lot about the state of where we are as humanity. Okay, so what does that tell you? Without trying, okay, without agreeing to it, without knowing about it, submitting to it, yielding to it, each and every one of us, no matter how spiritual we are, no matter how woke we are, no matter how aligned our chakras are, no matter any of that bullshit, you know what I mean? No matter how many vegetables we eat, no matter how much weed we smoke, no matter how much DMT we do, we have been programmed. Surprise. That's what they mean about the Matrix. They don't mean some, yes, about Skynet. That's a whole nother video, okay? But when they're talking about the matrix, they're talking about the programming of your subconscious psyche, all right? And that leads to other videos where I'm going to talk about magic and how magic, and then like things like the Orisha, or things like the gods and goddesses of ancient Kemet, or all of that, like the Greek gods, Zeus, you know, Athena, you know, Hades, how these are actually points in the subconscious mind that were made up by our ancestors, right? They're not some type of external point, you know what I mean? It even says that whenever those certain gods that came, excuse me, that came onto this earth, they had destroyed the Titans, and the Titans had been here before them. Metaphysically, you know, metaphorically, all that shit, occult, as an occultist, you know, if you were just to use your mind, okay, you would see if the gods and goddesses came here and then destroyed the Titans, wouldn't that mean that you would have to be the Titans? You know what I mean? Again, whole nother video, but like I said, your subconscious psyche, that's what they're controlling, okay? That's what they're controlling. That's what they're controlling. It is, family, I do not want you to fall under the spell of sitting there and be like, oh shit, hello, let me rephrase that. You can be religious all you want, but if it's not getting you any light, just pay attention to what's going on around you. You know what I mean? If it's not getting anywhere, be honest with yourself. Because like with me, I've been through certain initiations and certain things where it's like I have the motherfucking wherewithal, I don't know what you call it, the stripes, you know what I mean? I have the badge to sit there and say like, oh, I can officially do blah 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 blah, but I just don't, because it's not something that's in me. You know, it's something that has been programmed in the subconscious mind, that has been deprogrammed. How do you deprogram that? You know what I mean? And this is a question that is actually leading to two different answers, because once you deprogram yourself from that programming, the spiritual awakening just is so easy. It's like it will just work on itself. It'll do it. It's just like autopilot. Once you just leave they say leave the matrix, but it's like, man, you just have to deprogram yourself, literally. You have to turn everything off and be like, yo, are you my friend? Who actually are you? You know what I mean? Like 100%, I know that someone of, I'm not even going to go there, but just know I have other ways besides YouTube Studio of seeing who watches my videos. You know what I mean? It's not technology, you know, it's spiritual, whatever you want to call it, technology. You get what I'm saying? Not because I'm sitting there watching other YouTube videos about how to X, Y, and Z, or reading so many books. It's because the true wisdom of thyself is truly unprogramming yourself. You have to unplug. I know this is not the answer that you expected to get, but like, I promise you, that is the key. Just unplug. Just get the fuck away from people. You know what I mean? Stop fucking ugly bitches for no reason. Some of you niggas are nasty. You know what I mean? Like, some of you females nastier too. You know what I mean? But this is to all my kings and queens. And remember, on my last video yesterday, it's okay to be a fucked up person, but we're talking about the person you're manifesting, right? The person we're talking about right now is the person that is in the now, that is coming out to being, right? Just like I'm speaking to you right now. However, like, I haven't even edited the video. You see what I mean? Quantum physics, that's spiritual awareness. You know what I mean? And like I said, deprogram yourself, please. I love each and every one of y'all. Thank you for liking my shit. Man, the spirit is real in here. I'm about to go play FIFA and kick some ass. I'm gonna start streaming that. Actually, if y'all want me to start streaming games and shit, leave a comment. And also, if you have any other videos or questions, just leave a comment. If you need me to make your intro, I'll make that shit for free. Like, not forever though, because I might get a whole bunch of people asking. But yeah, love y'all. Peace.